Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved, the early access free-to-play. I don't know if it's free-to-play. What did I say? Free-to-play. Early access. In fact, I'm almost 100% certain it's not free-to-play. No, it's the early access Windows version of Plague Inc. for your cell phone, popular cell phone game. Somewhat popular cell phone game. Last time we played as Earthworm James with the Norax worm. Today we're going to play as the Parasite. First things first, let me ask everybody to whitelist me or turn off any ad blockers. Help me make a career. We're going to get more DNA from the red bubbles. We're going to decrease the chance of our plague mutating. Even though you decrease the chance, it's not by a significant amount, really. But any amount helps on that one. Increase the chance of it spreading by sea. Get a bonus in urban environments. And I believe we want translution here, which is costs don't increase to devolve. So we're playing the usual strategy, playing on casual. Wait, did we just play the... Wait a minute, Earthworm James, wasn't that the Norax worm? What was the... Earthworm James? Yeah. That's strange. A little bit of a bug there. It forgot whatever the name was before for the parasites. Which, what was the last parasite we had? Debt? Or something like that? I don't know. Today I'm gonna call it Leeches, and I can put a 0 at the end. Leech. Whenever I type anything in the game, I really go out on a limb and prove I can't spell these things. Leeches? Let's leave it at that. If that's the incorrect spelling for leeches, I'm sorry. I am an idiot. So, let's see. Where are we gonna start? Well, if we're gonna start somewhere, I think the Congo of East Africa is a pretty good place to start for leeches. I don't know, maybe there are no leeches in East Africa and I'm just being dumb, but I bet there are. So our plague of leeches are they're gonna grow and they're gonna grow and fill the entire planet until everybody gets bitten by one. But I guess they're tiny leeches that are communicable through coughing and rash and kissing. So micro leeches. Ooh, that would be it's probably true. I'd think a bunch of microscopic creatures could be feeding off your blood right now even. There's of course a limited size there, because if leeches became too microscopic, then they wouldn't be big enough to eat like red blood cells. And I think red blood cells are pretty big and white blood cells are kind of small. Or it's either that or it's vice versa. There's a big difference in size, I'm pretty sure. I think the red blood cells are big. So they couldn't get too microscopic. If they do get too microscopic, they can just walk right into red blood cells and start eating the DNA directly, which really isn't feeding off blood at that point. You wouldn't really define it that way. More like DNA vampires. Vampires! Why haven't I named one of the plagues vampires yet? I'll have to do that. Let's see. I'll have to think about what a vampire, whether it would be a virus or bacteria or what. We've already been found out we have not infected much. What happened here? We don't have any symptoms, so why is it so severe? Why are leeches so severe that they've found it already? This makes no sense. We didn't even mutate anything. Well, it looks like we're infecting countries. Let's see, give us another boost. Take this, take this. Less likely to be noticed. Oh, yeah, that would have helped a few minutes ago. Man, do we really have to do that every time? Just to not get noticed? Parasites are, I would say, easy to notice. Usually they often have very obvious effects. Oh no. Oh, look at this cheat. Look at this cheat. I gotta slow down. Well, it looks like the world is getting... What? Maybe it'll still be helpful to do this. Let it spread a little bit more. We still got a lot of countries and a lot of the world that needs to be infected. And they're already up to 4%. We may have another big failure here. We've got most of the countries infected, but there's still a pretty good list that haven't been. This is one of those games where it could not benefit it. It could be bad if you blink at the wrong time. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and start making this more difficult on them. USA shuts down the airport. Starting to have deaths. Do we have any uninfected countries left? No, everybody's infected, that's good. So the rest of the world is becoming infected very quickly. Now we just need to start putting stuff into symptoms. I think we'll get the rest of the world infected. Go ahead and put that. We need another 15 for our next upgrade. You do have to point out that once you get the gameplay down on this game, it's really a lot of the same things. There was a Nintendo 64 game called, I believe, Star Fox Adventures, where it was just this weird adventure game set on this planet full of dinosaur people, and I think they just squeezed Star Fox in it so it would sell better. And one of the fighting mechanic in the game was you would just kind of mash the A button, which on the Nintendo 64, maybe this was a GameCube game, either way, both games had a very big A button, and A was the button you did everything with. And all you would do is just smash that A button, and you smash it fast enough, you would spin the staff around and hit the enemies in this very noticeable loop of attacking enemies. So you do like 3 spinning attacks on the right side, 3 spinning attacks on the left side, and if you got it all right, then you would jump up in the air and hang for about half a second and then smash them on their head. And you would think doing all that would be would kill the people, but no, usually in the game that would take out like 1 of 4 hearts that the enemies, the basic enemies had. So the whole game of Star Fox Adventure is you're just pounding on the A, watching the same loop over and over and over again. It never changed. It never did anything. Apparently the cure for leeches was lethal, by the way. And there are no healthy people left. Man, did it feel like it was a 80-hour game because of it. Just the attack sequence was slow. You had to often attack them multiple times to do even 1 heart of damage. So it's not like in most games, if you hit somebody, they lose some health. In this game, if you hit somebody but didn't complete the sequence and go through that whole loop, they wouldn't lose health. They'd deflect your attack. And oh man, did it feel slow. I kinda liked Star Fox Adventure for its story. I kinda liked the dinosaur world concept. Not since like a Turok game has there been a dinosaur world, and this was one where the dinosaur people were mostly good guys. And it was like the reptiles that were the bad guys. And so, yeah, you don't see that very often. It's a little youngish, but okay. So they're at 58% to the cure. I need a few more DNA points to get total organ failure going. I'm not killing a lot of people. So what does that whole story have to do with anything? Well, it just kind of is a good equivalence, in my opinion. Well, I could increase the lethality a little bit, or I can save for 1 more DNA point and increase it a lot more. It has a lot to do with just the sequence of this game. Once you get down, you know the right times, the times where it's the smart move to add symptoms. There's no real room for experimentation if you want to guarantee a victory. There's no multiple real paths to victory. If you want to kill people and get rid of them, you have to pretty much go for total organ failure. Nothing else adds lethality anywhere enough that it could be cheaper or a difficult decision. Even though total organ failure is a very expensive upgrade, nothing really pushes you to potentially try some other upgrade. It's not a difficult thing at all. Probably that's because there's just infectiousness and severity and lethality. If they broke up the systems a little bit more and there was like a cardio and pulmonary and all kinds of different systems. I wonder, like digestive system, pulmonary system for breathing, cardio for blood pumping, there's gastrointestinal for eating. If each one of those was its own bar and you had to get 1 or more of those above a certain level to be fatal, then there would be some more gameplay about what you're trying to get, but you'd need a lot more symptoms because they are kind of broken up like this. This is all the digestive, this is all the pulmonary, this is all skin related, this is all the mental section here, this is cysts, so tumor related as it were. So with the new plagues, he certainly, the creators certainly put in some of that, but not a lot. Not enough to counterbalance the original game, which the original game's simplistic, but then it asks you to play a lot. We played this game a lot so far, and I'm not frustrated with it like I was FTL or anything like that, because we haven't lost that much. If this game has anything above it than FTL, which I think it probably has several things above it than FTL, not being incredibly cruel does help. Now, we are playing on casual, and sometimes on normal it can be a little difficult, but not that difficult. I have beaten everything on Mega Brutal, and we probably will get to that point before the end of the series. So, that's something that we certainly didn't get with FTL. Now, I will give FTL points because there are more scenarios, there are slightly more pop-up scenarios and statements. All that stuff, I think they need to hire a writer and put some more things into it. Really try and make Plague Inc. Evolved be a sequel to a game instead of just being a port of a cell phone game to a Windows, which is interesting concept in itself, that they are porting at this point a cell phone game, which started off as a cell phone game, to a Windows game. It looks like leeches are about to eradicate humans. They've sucked them dry. Everybody's walking around all emaciated and like shriveled up husks because the leeches, they're just attached everywhere, sucking them dry. That you can't even get them off. Leeches are falling from the sky every time it rains. It's like a leech-nado. I should definitely call one of the plague Sharknado, shouldn't I? Leeches have successfully eliminated all life on Earth. So there we go. In 731 days, we have got our complex disease of Parasite to eliminate everybody. They only got the cure up to 68% at the end, because I did some genetic reshuffles, and that got us 2,650 score with 2 biohazards, which I really wish I understood what this means. I really do. I wish people would break down their scores better. I shouldn't have to go to a website or try and research it and potentially never really know. Anyways, we have unlocked transstasis. I think transstasis is cheaper transmission. Let's see, next time we'll play as the Prion in casual. And let's see. Transstasis. Transmissions costs don't increase, but it's easier to cure. So you have, of the evolution genes, the option of bonus DNA when devolving, which only works really on bacteria. Translation, which is the right answer for everything else, pretty much. Or you can try to make symptoms cheaper, abilities cheaper, or transmissions cheaper. But it's easier to cure, so that's not really the right option. So we've got everything here unlocked. Seems like everything just unlocks in its own little randomness. We have 1 here that still needs to be unlocked, 2 here, and 2 here. So that is 5. 5 more genes to unlock, although it says we only have 50% of them unlocked, and I think the reason why that's true is because there's about 6 more necroviruses that need to be unlocked. There might be some more in the nanovirus and the bioweapon. I wish we have succeeded at this point and gotten the nanovirus and the bioweapon unlocked. I'd hate to get stuck like on the nanovirus or the bioweapon. I'm hoping we'll get over us being stuck on the necrovirus in 2 episodes and unlock them. Next episode though, we will play as the Prion. But that's the end of this episode, so as always I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me through fan funding, click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a button that says support this channel. Any amount you donate will be greatly appreciated. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google Plus or friend me on Steam or Battle.net, all that information is down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.